discuss the introduction to GitHub, may I call on Mr. Richard Gonzales. Please give him a round of applause.
Pwede mo kami pointer. Ay, mag-type ka?
Ay, hindi na. Bilis mo naman.
Hello, magandang hapon. I'm Richard Gonzales, so I'll be discussing some intro on GitHub. I am not an employee of GitHub, but I've been using GitHub for years now. So I started using this since 2008, and it's 2013 already. So there's a number of projects that I've built and developed and collaborated with using the system. I'm a Ruby on Rails developer, and I work for an Australian company. So naka-remote full-time ako ngayon. I just told my boss na I'll be speaking to you guys, so pinayagan naman ako. I'm also a hybrid mobile developer. So I do mobile applications for Android and iOS. So I've been in this industry for more than 10 years. So I started developing for Couple, for assembly, and Clipper, and the old DOS-based systems. Tapos, also dealt with some Microsoft products for a number of years. Then I moved to the open source technologies, and right now I'm using Ruby on Rails mostly. So, yeah, the introduction for GitHub. Actually, GitHub is a web application, so it's running on Git. Does anybody know what a versioning system is? Revision system. Na-discuss na ba sa inyo ang software development life cycle? Nakinig ba kayo ng tinuturo sa inyo? Well, kung hindi kayo nakinig, so sinasabi nga ni Brian, you wasted your time. Kasi dapat nakinig kayo. Frankly, I am not a computer science graduate. I am a civil engineering graduate. So, I just love programming and I love the system. I love working with it. Kaya nandito ako ngayon. And kayo, you're computer science students. You should, it is a mandatory idea, technology, and information that you should know. Now, you need versioning systems, especially for those people who are working with theses. I don't know if what you're doing with your software development life cycle ngayon is waterfall pa rin. Waterfall pa rin ba documentation? We've had some talks regarding agile development. Unfortunately, when you go out, I think only 1 to 2% of the companies right now still use that old model. So right now we're into agile development, and the waterfall development model is not being used so much, lalo na sa mga malalaking companies and enterprise, even startups. So what usually happens is when you come in a system, sometimes in a week may tinatawag kaming iteration. Within that iteration is a complete set of features that you should deliver. Compared to the waterfall method na sisimula ka sa day 1 hanggang day 100. Sa day 100 mo, pinakita sa teacher mo kung ano yung project mo. With the agile development approach, it's different. Within a week, you can actually show something up. So you're building features on top of features na ginagawa mo. So what's the knowledge? What's the knowledge behind this? The knowledge is you are meant to commit mistakes as soon as you progress. So why not fix your mistakes on the earliest possible na ma-detect mo siya? So in week 1, sabi nga ni Brian, requirements change. Pag nagbago yung requirements mo at pinakita mo na yung feature mo, then your client, your teacher could react eventually kung ano yung pwede mong i-adjust. There is no perfect world, there is no perfect system. Eventually, your requirements will change, and you have to deal with it. So my suggestion, I guess, if you're in the verge of selecting the possible documentation or implementation for your thesis or for your projects, try to look into the agile development system, or even extreme programming if you wanted to. Try to look into it and try to apply it in your system. Now, why do I say this? Because we mainly use GitHub as a source of versioning system. Versioning system is sort of, may kinakausap akong not really into this technology. I always just tell them that it's a backup system. So, if you put your code online, somebody can clone it, somebody can fork it, and get a copy of themselves and put it in their local. So what's happening is, GitHub is actually the social networking site for geeks and nerds and developers. So if you know Facebook or you know Twitter, now, GitHub shares codes. Nandun yung code. If you're looking for code on whatever purpose, siguradong makuha mo yan dun sa GitHub. GitHub is a web-based hosting service for software development projects. Now, I've been working with Brazilians, Americans, Europeans, so a lot of people around the world. All of us look back to GitHub, and this is where we keep our projects. So since internal project siya, we don't really show it out. So it's not an open source project. GitHub is using Git. Git is a versioning system. And let's say, for example, you're working on, I don't know how you work with your projects right now. Let's say, for example, you have a project, group project to. Tapos, yung ikaw, gumagawa ka ng project. Tapos, isasend mo sa mobile list, tapos sasaksak mo sa barkada mo. Tapos, gagawa din siya. Tapos, halimbawa, 3 kayong gumagawa ng project. How do you consolidate all of your efforts in one? So, kung ika-copy-copy nyo lang yun, mahihirapan kayo. Kasi, baka mamaya, pinalitan ko na yun dito eh. Gumawa din ako ng ganito. So the versioning system consolidates those efforts. Wherein this one, we are literally working from different parts of the globe. So this is different developers working on different features while consolidating it on the same code. The same thing that you could do for yourself. So Git is an open source. Open source kasi pwede nyo i-download yung Git. You can actually go to git-scm.org and you can download it. Distributed version control system designed for speed and efficiency. Before kasi ginagamit namin yung SVN, CVS pa. I still have a project using an SVN versioning system right now. This is designed originally authored by Linus Torvalds. Who knows Linus? Yeah, he created Linux as well. So the guy who created this system is also the same guy who created Linux. So yeah, and this is being used by a lot of companies, big companies right now, all over the world, hindi lang dito sa Pilipinas. So it's free, you can sign up for free. Sign up for free, and all open source projects are free. Pwede nyo rin ilagay. But take note, it will be open source. Everybody will see it. So if you want to share your code and show the world what you're trying to do, this will also open them to collaborate with you. So yeah, this is the, pakita ko lang, this is the Git SEM page. Right now they're on 1.8.4, so you can download it anytime if you wanted to. So it works on all systems.
as far as I know, it works on Windows, it works on Mac, and it works on Linux. So these are the features of GitHub. Kasi take note, specific tayo. GitHub is a system. Git is another system. GitHub is like a company, while Git is an open source software. So I'm not a representative of GitHub, but the backgrounds are from them. When it comes to project management features, they have these collaborations. You can manage teams with organizations. So, halimbawa ako, I have an account in GitHub. Then a company in the US hired me to be part of the team. Since I already have an account in GitHub, they just add me to the company. Then they give me access to whatever repository they want me to access. So from there, I can clone it, get a copy and put it on my local, work on it, then push it up, then deploy it for production or for staging. So that's how it works. So there is a project management component as well in GitHub, wherein the project managers can actually assign tickets to me. So when you assign tickets, tickets are issues. These are bugs, these are features, or these are fixes that you need to do. Git-powered wikis, there's a lot of wiki. There's also Git-powered pages. So if you know Manila.js, or if you've been to Manila.js event, Manila.js is just a GitHub page. So it also integrates issue tracking and bug tracking type commits. So what's good with this is, when you commit your code, everybody can see it, everybody can comment on your code. So there's fast reaction, there's fast communication between different developers. Not unless you're working alone, then you don't really need to publish it. But if you're collaborating with a lot of developers, then you need to communicate with them effectively. And as soon as they see that there's an issue with your code, they react successively. There's also code review. So what I do is, when I participate in an open source project, I also clone it, so I have a copy of it. When I push a feature, what I mean by pushing a feature is, may nakita akong fix na pwede kong gawin, then I did. You can create a code review and create a pull request, and the manager can actually facilitate if they want to merge it up or just ignore your code. So that's what they do. So the project managers or the repository owners have full control of what goes in or what goes out within the project. So for code hosting features, yeah, you can access it by SSH or Git protocols. You can also browse the code online. So I don't know if you've seen GitHub, pero pakita ko na rin. So yeah, this is GitHub. So this was shown by Brian kanina. You can sign up for this one for free. So ito yung pinaka content niya. So there's nothing exciting about it right now. But if you go to, let's say for example, yung DevCon. Okay, let's, one word pa, sir?
Dash page.
Ayun, okay. Yun, so I searched for DevCon. DevCon is actually this organization, and they have the code online on GitHub as well. So if you search for DevCon, you can see that these are the people who actually forked or created a copy or is contributing to this project. So hindi lang isang tao ang gumagawa actually with that. But I think Brian is managing the commits. As it Terence ba?
May organization naman. Pero kung tanto lang yung Terence, may kita mo naman first.
So yun, and this is the language. So it's this is the language. Yeah, so let's check how it works. Tingnan natin yung DevCon. na source code. Ito sir, no?
Yep.
So this is the main repository for
Ayan, 7 days
for DevCon and was updated by Brian himself 7 days ago. So you can see that there are 297 commits. There are 3 contributors in this project. We have 4 branches. So, and these are the files. When I say you can browse the code online, you can actually do. So if you click on a specific folder and go to that directory, you can check out the code and you can see the code itself. So yeah, so here's the code. They're sharing it online. You can see it online. Kung may gusto kang makita or gusto kang gamitin for your project, you're free to do so. Nobody's forcing you na hindi mo gamitin yan. But if you want it, you can also give back. So this is using Ruby on Rails as well. So yeah, you can edit. I'm not signed in, so I think I'm not allowed, and I'm not. You can. Here's what I mentioned kanina, yung issues. You can track issues. So these guys have been organizing well the features na i-accept nila for this project. So the opt-out login and everything. I only have like 10 to 15 minutes really, so I did not really prepare to walk you through all of the. So if you wanted to clone, if you wanted to get a copy of this project, you can just read through the notes and that's it. Kung minsan hindi mo na gagamitin yung ulo mo, all you need to do is make a proper setup. So yeah, I checked kanina which among the project in GitHub is on the top 5. Bootstrap pa rin yung nasa pinakataas. Take a look at the figures. There's around 20,075 forks already. TWBS Bootstrap is the Twitter Bootstrap. This is version 3. I don't know if you know what Twitter Bootstrap is. But if you're a developer, then ito na yung pinakamabilis for you to put up or actually just create something on the fly. So yeah, look, it's 20,075. These are people around the world contributing to this project. So yeah, kung paihirapan mo pa yung sarili mo and try to debunk whatever knowledge they gave, then that's a problem. So susunod is yung Octocat kasi kay GitHub mismo yan. Yung Heroku na Node.js sample, and a homebrew, tapos nasa pang-5 yung Rails. So for the languages, just look at those figures. There are 589,687 repos. The number of issues and the number of users. I think right now they have... ito. Pakita ko na. I think right now they have at least 47 million or 51 million developers right now on GitHub. And there's, I think, millions and millions of projects as well right now on GitHub. So the main, sabi ko nga, I can cover everything. So this is just a brief intro on this one. So what I would advise you to do is, you can go to training.github.com or try.github. Just go to try.github. And there is a parang walkthrough that you can follow. Sobrang bilis lang naman yun. Yeah, this one. So this is just a 15 minutes walkthrough so that you could get yourself up and running with Git and eventually create an account with GitHub. You can also go to training.com.github. There is a list of resources. There are videos and presentations. There are also free books somewhere, so you can download it. And yeah, that's it. Nag-exceed na ako. Yun lang. It was a quick talk lang. Any questions? Any questions? Wala? This also works nga pala if you're working with Xcode. It also works with Xcode. And if you're working on Java, I think it also works with Eclipse. So, I don't think you have any reason not to use it. If ever hindi kayo gumagamit ng versioning system, I hope your advisors require you to do so. Because sobrang sakit sa ulo pag nawala ang code. So, and collaborate with your friends. If you wanted to buy a subscription, there is a $7 per month option. I think you can host like 5 or 6 private repositories for a $7 per month price. Yun, options, you can also go to Bitbucket. They are also offering free stuff. And if you go around, just look around and try to look for free private sourcing, you can also find it. Yun, kung wala kayong questions, that's it for me. Thank you.